And let's continue with the formation of the first star binaries by Kazu Sugimura. Thank you.
Okay, do you see my screen?
Perfectly.
Okay, so thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizer for giving me a chance to talk here. So today I would like to talk about our recent simulation of formation of the first star binary, and as shown in this background image. And this talk is mostly based on this paper in collaboration with Matsumoto-san, Hosokawa-san, Hirano-san, and Omukai-san. So I'm Kazu Sugimura from University of Maryland, and let me start my talk. So content of my talk is like this. So I first make an introduction for first star as well as first star binary, and then I will talk about our new code, SUSUMATO RT, and as well as our simulation setup, and then I will talk about our result of our simulation, and I will finally conclude my talk and introduction. So because Tillman already gave us very nice review, so I just briefly explain this slide. So the first star formation drastically changed the history of the state of the universe, and the first star or POP3 star, so both of which I use interchangeably in this talk, affect the universe in the form of like stellar radiation, supernovae, X-ray binary, by bringing radiation metals or energies into the universe. And because these processes sensitively depend on the property of the first star, so it is important to reveal the property of the first star to understand the history of the universe. And in this talk, I will put a particular focus on the first star binaries or multiples. So why are they so important? And I will give 4 reasons for this. And firstly, so first star binaries or multiples can be the dominant population of the first stars. So in local observation, so present-day massive stars are often in multiple systems, and the POP3 stars, first stars, although different population, but they are often considered to be massive, so they may dominantly belong to multiple systems. And secondly, first star binaries can modify the later evolution of the universe, as I said. So the physics leading to binary formation should modify the property of the first star, such as mass and X-ray binary abundance, and in turn affect the later evolution of the universe. And thirdly, first star binaries are the good candidate for the progenitor of the observed black hole mergers. And finally, and importantly, so the first star binaries or multiple formation are suggested by former simulation focusing on the early phase of the first star formation, like these papers. So in those simulations, so they show that the initial fragmentation leads to multiple protostar formation, although their final fate was still unclear because these simulations only focus on the early phase. So in order to understand the final fate of those protostars, we need to follow the entire star formation process until the accretion ends due to the radiation feedback. So these 2 papers are among those attempts, and in this SPH simulation in SUSA 2014, they follow the formation of multiple first star formation. But in the simulation, they were not able to follow the propagation of ionizing radiation because of insufficient resolution in low density ionized bubble, although ionizing radiation feedback is known to play an important role in the first star formation. In this spherical grid simulation in Hosokawa 2016, so they were able to follow the first star formation considering the ionizing radiation. However, so their code can only consider the radiation from the central protostar, and also their resolution is not sufficient in the off-center region where fragmentation leads to multiple protostar formation. So after all, so no formal simulation could properly follow the POP3 binary formation, and we decided to perform new simulation with a new code. So that is our motivation of this work. And let's move on to the method. So this is the recipe for our new code, SUSUMATO RT. So I developed this code by adding a new feature to original code SUSUMATO. And to this self-gravitational AMR code SUSUMATO, I added adaptive ray tracing module to solve the radiation transfer from multiple protostars, and also POP3 physics module to solve the chemical and thermal evolution of gas, as well as protostellar evolution. And with these ingredients, this code, SUFMAT-RT, is now able to follow the POP3 binary formation with self-consistent physics. And we obtain the initial condition for our simulation in this way. So to study the faster formation in the context of cosmological context, we first perform the cosmological hydro simulation using gadget, and we picked up 2 mini halos for our simulation when their central density reached 10 to 6 hydrogen atoms per cubic centimeter. And we remap this data to a SUFMAT grid and like this, and we start our simulation using this initial condition. So this slide summarizes our simulation setup. And as I said, we performed the simulation of faster formation in 2 mini halos from a cosmological initial condition. And those halos actually are the same as the case D, C, and D in former work of Hoska 2016. And in their simulation, the first star mass evolve like this, and case C and D correspond to those lines. And because of this, so we call this and this halo as typical and low mass POP3 star formation size in this talk. And box size of our simulation is 10 to 5 AU, and sync radius and minimum cell sizes are 64 AU and 4 AU respectively. And refinement condition and computation costs are like this. So as I said, so I performed the simulation from the same initial condition as the former work. So what's new to this specific work? Firstly, so adaptive ray tracing method in our code makes it possible to treat radiation from multiple protostars. And secondly, so adaptive mesh refinement in the code makes it possible to achieve much higher, so about 10 times higher resolution around off-center protostars. So because of these differences, we expect to obtain different results, and as we will see, that's actually the case. So let's move on to the result. And firstly, I'd like to show the result for the case C, which is a typical POP3 star formation site. And this is the movie for the simulation, so let me start. So this is the initial condition, and the 3D rendering of gas density is shown here. And I start our simulation from the collapse phase. So the central part, the density increases in a runaway fashion in the beginning. And I'm zooming the camera to the center. And at the center, first protostar form. And the disk around this first protostar is relatively massive to this low mass central protostar. So it's easily fragmented into multiple protostars like this. But they also merge each other, and finally, so binary system remains after this phase. And these binary stars accrete gas from a circumbinary disk through this their own circumstellar disk. And also, we see this yellow region, which corresponds to the ionized bubble, so bipolar ionized bubble formed due to the radiation from each protostar. And as time goes on, so one of the disks, so circumstellar disks, becomes so massive that it is fragmented into a mini-triplet system, as you can see in this movie. And yes, and this ionized bipolar ionized region, its size increases with time, and the gas around this the gas around this mini-triplet system is now completely photoionized, and the accretion to this system is completely stopped at this time. But the accretion to the other star still continues at this moment through its own circumstellar disk. But this disk is also photoevaporated due to the internal radiation from the central star and from the external radiation from the mini-triplet system. And at the end of our simulation, the accretion rate to this central star is already very low. And we can say that the property of this stellar system is already fixed at this moment. And this summarizes the evolution of protostars in our simulation, and I plot the mass and accretion rate and separation of protostars as a function of time since the first sink formation. And each line corresponds to the each protostar. So as we saw in the movie, so we observed the 5 evolutionary phases: so gravitational collapse, initial fragmentation, binary accretion, rate time fragmentation, and photoevaporation. And as you can see, so many protostars formed, but they merged and binary remained. And one of the disk fragment into mini-triplet system, and they evolved to this time. And at the end of our simulation, so the accretion rate already very low, and we can say basically follow the entire star formation process in this case. And this is the resulting stellar system for a typical POP3 star formation site. And we found a wide binary of massive single and multiple mini-triplet system like this. And both of them contain the massive star with mass larger than 60 solar masses. And this is our main result. And we also performed another simulation for case D, which is the formation site of low mass POP3 stars. And this is the result for this case. So in this halo, we observe the formation of three protostars, but they merge each other, and only 2 stars remain and form the binary. And this is the resulting stellar system. And again, we see the wide binary of unequal massive stars. And in summary, so we observed the massive binary formation in 2 out of 2 examined cases. And these results may suggest that the POP3 stars, so substantial fraction of POP3 stars form in massive binary or multiple stellar system. So I think I already ran out of my time, so I will stop here. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Another set of super great simulations. It's amazing progress. We have a question already by Rafael. That is, how far can you go in time predicting effectively the final masses of these binaries by following their current rates of mass accretion?
Okay. So I did 2 simulations, but maybe this one is the fiduciary one, so I will explain this. So in this case, so I performed the simulation for 1.2 times 10 to 5 year, which is very long. And at the end of our simulation, the accretion rate, so each line corresponds to the accretion rate each protostar or maybe already star in this simulation, and they are already very low at the end. And the accretion to this singlet system still large at this time, but it also gradually decreases, and it's already below 10 to minus 4. And if we extrapolate this line, so the mass increase in later time is very low. Maybe the stellar mass is about 70 solar mass, but the mass increase is maybe less than a few. So I think we can safely say that the final state of this system is already formed at this time.
Awesome. So you say you reached the Susa-san diagram to the right.
So I think related to Susan's diagram, so I did the very long simulation, but the resolution is not as good as other simulation. So there are some compensation. So I was not able to observe the formation of very small, very tiny protostars. So I also need to do some simulation with a higher resolution to study such objects.
Okay, thank you.
Good point. Yeah.
I can ask you one more question, and that is by Rafaela, asking about that she sees you not exploring a wide range of initial conditions, but do you find any dependence of the binary separation or multiplicity on environmental properties?
Mm-hmm. I think environmental property or maybe initial condition of mini-halo determines the property of the mass as well as binary separation. But we have only studied 2 cases yet. And we plan to increase the sample, and then we can know the statistical property. But yeah, it's very important. But it's our kind of future direction. So yeah.
Awesome. That looks great. Yeah, I would also like to refer you to Slack. You have a lot of questions going on. And with that, thanks again for your talk.